Hey y'all, what's up? I've been gone for a minute. My son has been sick. It's been the holidays here in North Carolina. You got Halloween, you got Thanksgiving, you got the state fair, you got homecoming. Okay. HBCU homecomings are real big here. The PWI ones are too. And I've had leg surgery and a family situation, so I have not been on here. I think now that I'm not going to do that every Monday and Friday, because honestly, I don't watch the whole episode. And if I do, I'm watching Monday. I'd rather watch Raw than SmackDown. But I do watch all the PLEs, okay? So I just watched Survivor Series. I watched it in real time, okay? Some of these videos I've done. I just did not upload them to YouTube. So, yeah, so if I'm going in order from my favorite to my least favorite match of the night, it would be John and Dominik first. The boy and girls WarGames was a tie. And then of course Stephanie and I was gonna say Stephanie, but she don't use her real first name. She uses Nikki. Stephanie and Nikki. Stephanie versus Nikki for the women's title. Okay. First things first, before I go through these matches, I've said on multiple occasions in past videos, if you watch my videos all the way through, and I was in someone's podcast responding to something, that Survivor Series should have been the one that was 2 days and not SummerSlam. I understand that SummerSlam is warm and y'all try to make it the next biggest thing after WrestleMania. I digress, to be honest with you. I feel like after WrestleMania, the next two biggest PLEs that they have are the Royal Rumble. And me personally, is either Survivor Series or it's Money in the Bank. Okay? My three favorite are Survivor Series, Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank. Royal Rumble's getting up there now. Because this year I watched Royal Rumble and then I watched Money in the Bank. So it's a toss-up for me. But this is why I say it needs to be 2 days. Because the match that they had on SmackDown on Friday with the MFT, because I got to think about it because I always say MTF. MFT versus Team Sammy. That was a classic Survivor Series match. If Survivor Series was 2 days, y'all could have had started with the women's Raw. No. Y'all could have started with Team Sammy versus MFT, right? Did Stephanie versus Nikki. Okay? Then let's put another title on the line. Do either the tag titles for the men, or do like Dragunov versus Ciampa or something like that, right? Then end it with the women's WarGames. Night 1. Okay? Night 2. Okay? Then y'all could have started with another team versus team situation. Or, okay, we could have did the whole NXT versus SmackDown versus Raw thing one night, one time. And then the other two spots would be, like I said, in the women's WarGames. And then the next day, we would just do two title matches. You know what I'm saying? Or 3 title matches. Maybe if we had the men's tag team yesterday, we could have did Dragunov and somebody. Then we could have did Jade and somebody. Okay? And then we could have did Dom and Cena. Then we could have ended with the men. You see what I'm saying? 2 days. That's 2 days. And it would have been lit. Then when it came to Saturday Night Main Event, y'all could have had Cody defend his title, since he was in WarGames. CM Punk defend his title because he was in WarGames. The people that was in WarGames defend their titles. CM Punk, Cody, and then the women's tag team championships. I don't know who. And then the fourth one could have been a non-title match, like how we had KO and Cody, which is still one of the best Saturday night main events that's happened since it's been back. That's one of the best matches that's been on Saturday night main event. Was that Saturday night main event? Since it's been back, okay? We could have did that. Or we could have had a bomb match like how Jay had with Naomi. Okay? We could have did one of them. Like, because from what I was told and what I read, SummerSlam wasn't all that to be 2 days. Like, everybody I know was like, we could have put all these matches. We could have did an AEW situation where we could have sat down for 4 hours and had all these matches one night. Because it was giving mediocre. Kind of like the second night of WrestleMania. When Cena won. Okay, speaking of WrestleMania, kudos to y'all because y'all was listening. Okay, because last year y'all had 2-day tickets for $1,600 if you sat on like part of the floor part. Then when y'all did single sale tickets, they were $1,600, and I said, "What the hell I'm buying 1 day for if I could buy 2 day for the same price?" So I don't know if it's because it's a Black Friday thing, but I looked up for the same ticket that I looked up last year. 2 day was $1,600. 1 day was like $7 something before tax. I said, look at them listening, okay? Because I feel like that's part of the reason why it wasn't sold out like that I wanted to be. Like people, they were still selling tickets probably an hour in the show compared to 40. Also, the build up wasn't that good for 41. Let's keep it honest. Like outside of the triple threats and the Cody versus Cena, the rest of the match. And I will say Joe Henry and Randy was fun. Outside of those, like we could have did low key without Jade and Naomi, because Naomi carried the match. Okay. We daggone sure could have did without Charlotte and Tiffany. Charlotte was, helping Tiffany rise to her stardom, but Tiffany's to the point when she cashed in, she didn't need that. And the promos were terrible. And then the way Cena ended that was, But, yeah, so it could have been, WarGames could have been 2 days. Okay? Then, yeah, WarGames could have been 2 days. That's why I be like, y'all need to hire me on Team Creative. Like, when y'all doing scheduling, one thing I'm good at a lot of things. I'm a Jane of all trades, as they say. Like, if you show me how to do something, I can pick it up like that, and I bet you I could perfect it within 3 to 6 months at the latest. Okay. And that's with any job. Not being cocky. I'm just saying, because I'm very meticulous. I pay attention to detail. If I don't ask questions, like my mama say, I'll write stuff down, and I'll have to learn always. And but being in production in church, at a big church, and then being a mom of someone that's considered special needs and oldest of 4, I know how to manage schedules and like where stuff's and what's the entertaining and production and all of that, and then being going to cosmetology school and then having a business degree, like all assets of WWE. Like I look at it from all the assets, and being a former athlete. So I'm looking at it from a fan perspective and a business perspective. Like, what would I want to see? What do the angles look like on camera? What do the visuals look like? What the looks look like? What the hair look like? All the things, what they look like, okay? So let's go with my least favorite. When I saw Stephanie versus Nikki, first of all, I already knew she was going to turn on her on Raw when I watched it. I kept tweeting, I said, girl, you trusting Stephanie? I said, if she turned on her twin sister, she's definitely going to turn on you. They ran it back. She turned on her. One thing I will say is 2 of the Nepo babies, Charlotte and Cody, said that they miss having weekend shows. They love the fact that they get family time, but it helps them get better in the ring and all the things. And they said, and I said that too. I said they don't need to do it every weekend, so they're on the road 300 days a week, but do it once a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, so 2 weekends out the month, y'all are gone. Because 1 weekend out the month is going to be a PLE. And then the other weekend, so then 2 weeks after that, would be, excuse me, was it night? A weekend show, a home show, or something like that. Because for one, it helps you connect with fans. Two, I've never been to one, and I'm sad because I should have went to. It was two that was close to me. I should have went to, and I was like, nah, because they're gonna keep having them. Y'all stop having them. But from looking at footage and stuff, like they have really nice time, like good times and stuff like that, and you can tell that wrestler is better, and it doesn't look as dancey when they're doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like when Nikki had turned on Stephanie, she kind of botched that too, just like she did that one match with, who did she fight before that? Was it Becky? And I was like, ooh, that was terrible. But they came out. I said, oh, she wearing black. And when she came out, of course, she got the pop. And then it says Bella going bad. And I was like, I know she's going to sell mad shirts for that. And then then Stephanie comes out. Look, I call her Maleficent. Okay. One thing I will say about this is, yes, it was 45,000 whatever people. Y'all had an arena because I didn't know how I was going to feel about it. And I was like, oh, they got arena. Yeah, we doing big things. Da, da, da. The aesthetic was given WrestleMania. And then when I got into, after the women came out, I didn't like it. Okay. I'm going to get back to the women's, the Stephanie versus what's the name match first. I didn't like it because, for one, I'd be all here for it being outside if it's warm out. All here for that. And I would have been here for it if we had the cages. Why the hell we ain't had the cages? And I don't know if the cage thing is new in the past like 5-10 years. Bring that back, okay? Because the chemistry or the beef that the people have in the cages, like when y'all have like cage footage like last year with like Punk and Roman, or like Jimmy being hilarious, or Liv screaming or something like that, even if you don't put it out on YouTube, we can, us as viewers that's not there in person, we can tell about the tension and the facial expressions, what's going on in that cage. Okay, I don't like the fact that they came out individually. I was like, why is this giving Royal Rumble? I don't want them to come out individually like I'm in Royal Rumble. I don't like that. Okay? I would have been here for the outdoor thing if they didn't have to come out like Royal Rumble. That's the main reason why I didn't like it. Two, I feel like if you would have had it in an arena versus a stadium and would have had the 2 days, you could have got the same amount of people. The 40-something thousand people would have filled it to the brim at the nose ring. Because you know why? Because you would have had them cages. You would have had them in the cage. You could have had a seat right there, like y'all do, the little short entrance. And once they in. Fill all that up. Cut the entrance down like y'all been doing so y'all can have people over top. And y'all could have filled it up, and it could have been the same amount of people for 2 days. That's why another reason why WarGames need to be 2 days in intimate setting in an arena. Not unless you have it like where you had the Royal Rumble in that building, that huge thing, or what's the other place, Minnesota, that the Dome Stadium. That'd be the only place, like if you had it in a dome. Other than that, don't have it outside no more. Okay, if it's not no dome stadium, have it in an arena. We are fine with the arena. Okay, Money in the Bank, Elimination Chamber, my 3 PLEs, WarGames, arena is okay. Okay, Survivor Series, that is WarGames. SummerSlam, we know it's gonna be outside because it's hot. WrestleMania, we know it's gonna be outside because it's WrestleMania. Crown Jewel, I didn't see it when it was in Australia this year. Honestly, I like the aesthetic of them being in Saudi with Crown Jewel. Only because Crown Jewel makes me think Middle East. I don't know, for some reason. Clash, I don't know. Um, and Backlash could be either or, because Backlash was in the what was in the O2 stadium when it was in London, but then it was in like a small type arena in France, so it could be either one. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Like, the main reason why I like it is because of that. One of the main reasons. Okay, outside of them two rings, one cage is that. Okay, so back to Stephanie and Nikki. She come out, they do the little match. Of course, Stephanie had paused for a second again. I know Nikki has been training and she has her businesses and she has to raise her son and she has her podcast and all the things. My first initial thing was she was okay. So I had various opinions. My one opinion was because Brie has been telling, I don't mind coming back, all these times and this, that, and the third. I was like, her sister gonna come and help her. But then I thought about it and I was like, why would her sister come and help her if she did the same thing to her sister? If anything, Brie would come back. I would have set it up where Brie came out and they did play Brie mode, act like she was helping her sister, and then got her lick back from all the times her sister crossed her to help Stephanie retain the title. Okay. Then I was like, they're going to get a title to Nikki because she's an OG. She's back. See how she's going to handle wrestling up against these new girls and this, that, and the third. But my thing was like, the only way they will give it to her is to help her practice her promos. She gets very repetitive like Roman Reigns. Roman's gotten way better on the mic, but he's still not the best. It's just his aura and stuff like that makes him look like that. But like he'll be like, it's my family, this is mine. Like after he gets done saying certain stuff, every time she has done saying a promo, she's like, we've opened more doors. And I was like, every promo you do that you say that, like say something else. And I was like, I know back then the women didn't get as much mic time and or they didn't care about what the women had to say because they weren't focused on the girls like that. I'm like, now the women, my opinion, because I'm here for the girls and I'm here for the tag team and the factions, are better, in my opinion, because I was going to say just as good or better, but they're better. Their matches have been than the guys. Okay? So you got to bring your A game. Like, we know you a foot on the ground, thump it, do what you got to do type wrestler. We know that. Okay? Because you the only one since the Attitude Era. And Bianca. Hold on, who else could do it? Raquel maybe, but she don't do it as much no more. Rhea could too. That could pick people up with your size now and slam them on the ground. And you done had neck surgery. Okay? You is a GOAT. Okay? Y'all have helped open doors. Trish and them was first. Jacqueline and all them. Before that, you know, it was Moolah, all the girl, the black wrestler women that they did a show on Netflix, all the things. But it's like, I don't know. I just want her to do, I would want her to get a title so it'll force her to talk. I don't want her to be a one-dimensional wrestler like they make Brock on purpose. Like I was watching the podcast with Stephanie's and Paul Heyman was on there and it was like, he was talking about how he gets the emotion out of wrestlers and he was like, Roman's different than Brock because we made Brock one-dimensional on purpose. And I was like, and I said that's probably has to do because he, even though he will talk, he doesn't want to. So like, you know, and he's good. Like he was genuinely a wrestler before he made it WWE. And I'm going off on another tangent here. You know how crazy athletic you have to be to not even have ever played football in the history of your life to go try out for the Minnesota Vikings and make the team. Somebody just brought that up. They was like, this man made a team and he never played football in his life. And I said, and it was like, he sure didn't. But I digress. So, I'm still under, my head hurts right now. Um, and my leg hurts. I'm just all the way. I need to stop. I'm trying to be back normal because it's been a month, but I can't sit it down for a while. I have to lift it up. Yeah, so I was like to help her with her mic skills because I was like, she's a fantastic wrestler. And I had told my homeboy, and I said, honestly, I feel like that's why they haven't given Natalia a title again. I was like, because we know she's a phenomenal wrestler. She has the dungeon. She's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? She's one of the, like, if she retires today, I know for a fact, if she retires today, they're putting her in the Hall of Fame. They might put her in it if she hasn't got announced to be in it this year. She's definitely going to be in it. They're going to put her in it. And, and they'll probably either have her continue doing a dungeon. Because is that a part of the WWE affiliate? I know Steph's is, Cody's is, Booker T's is. I don't know about Natty's and her dungeon. The only thing about between Natty's and theirs is Natty's is established wrestlers, like wrestlers that have been signed, whether it's TNA, GCW, MLW, AEW, WWE, NPJW, Stardom, whatever it's at. They have been signed. She hasn't. So, I mean, Booker T and them have fresh people. So, it's different. Yeah, so I think that's one of the reasons why and also because Natty's been in the game, it'll be 20 years in January. She's been signed to WWE. So, now more so, it's about letting the new people come in and shine. But it's also, in the back of your mind, you want to have a run one more time. Because now even though you might be at a job for 20 years, you're still at a different space in your life. Everyone evolves every day. I feel like this is the thing for Nikki. And she kind of said that because she was like, this is her redemption. Her child is old enough where she can have a nanny if he comes with her. If not, he goes with his dad, you know what I'm saying? Like, and she wants to see if she can hang with the girls. But, what Cody said, his dad called the class communications. Sorry, my stomach. Everybody should take that class, and I don't know who they would hire. They need someone from the Attitude Era or from the Divas Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era. So the Attitude Era was what, 96 to 02? The Ruthless Aggression Era was from 02 to 08, and then you had like the Nexus Era. So the Nexus Edge Era was after that. But anybody from one of those two groups needs to be down at the Performance Center to teach, if Sean isn't doing it, or if whoever's doing it, to teach people how to cut promos. Because it's not just about what you say in your tone. Like, if I don't believe you in your body language, you're not selling nothing for me. I don't care how cool we are backstage. We could be, I love you, da, 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 da. And then when I come out there and I be like, girl, you can't wrestle, this, that, third. And I know because I'm going to take that title off you, and people going to be looking at me like, or if I hit you with the, girl, you know you can't wrestle. I don't even know why you doing that. So go in and set up this match so I can beat you right quick. We can hit this title. Like, it's a little more conventional, but you also like, okay, body language, facial expressions, like what's happening. Like, you need to sell it even more. You know what I'm saying? Do like a brain rose, like, who the hell told you? Her husband didn't even say that right. I'm like, who the hell told you to put your name in put my name in your mouth? I know that's not how you trying to roll. Okay? You need to go over there and talk to Nick. See if he could set up this match so I can beat your ass and take that title. Like, something like that. Like, the girls don't be convincing. And that's why I be like, girl, like, We know you can wrestle. Can you cut a promo? Because the open doors thing is. So, them the only two reasons why. But then when Stephanie won, I was like, yeah, she needs to win. I don't know who else she would face. I was like, because at the time, I was like, Liv not back yet. I was like, she could face Raquel. I was like, you got Raquel, you got Io, you got Rhea, but them two would have had the title enough. You got Becky, you got Lyra. But Lyra, they don't even have no really use for her because her Grayson was back at NXT doing the tour last week or last month. You had Maxine, but she got a belt now, but she got 2 belts. You can call it 2 belt Max. Who else? Bailey. Okay. Bailey to me gives old school wrestler like Natty. I wish I could fuse them together. Because Bailey is a great wrestler. I will say that. But to me, she's more exciting when she's conjuring up plans and doing promos and segments versus her in the ring. Okay? That triple threat, though, with her, Becky, and Lyra a while ago was good. But, and people was like, they hate that her signature is the Rose plant, her finisher. And they was like, it sucks. And she was like, I know what y'all saying. But, like, I don't know. So, to me, it wasn't nothing spectacular that stood out to that match. So I was like, they just put it there. Because then my mind went to, okay, so had my girl get pregnant, and from her thing, she's having a boy. Thankfully, she's safe. She said she was having complications. I was like, she might have retained that backlash. Like, oh, what was it? What was they supposed to fight? Crown Jewel? She might have retained. Say she retained. Because she only had the title for a month. She'd have retained. Then it might have been more interesting. Because we would have had Naomi and Nikki. But the thing is, there's no way that Nikki would have been able to turn on Naomi. Naomi would have had to get on Nikki's nerves. And then it would have been Battle of the Divas. Okay? Battle of the Divas. Because she said she came in the tail end of the Diva era. Battle of the Divas. Boom, pop. For Survivor Series. That to me would have been more interesting. Only because Nikki has more chemistry with Trinity. Naomi. Nikki has more chemistry with Naomi than she does with Stephanie, because Nikki and I have to think Naomi have done Total Divas together. They traveled the road together. They're cool. You know what I'm saying? She been on the podcast, been over the house to help breathe with the baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of that. Okay? It would have been better. So then the next matches, to me, the tie were the WarGames. Like I said, points off for not coming out in the cage. Did not like that at all. Okay? I will say this with the girls. Charlotte, when she came out, because I got my nieces watching. My nieces have been watching wrestling for the past year. Okay? But I only show them the women's. My one little niece is 8. She got to be this high. My sister's short. She's 5'2". She got to be this high, and she loves it. Her older sister is almost 5 feet. She's 12 or whatever. She likes it as long as it's not the latter one. She don't like Money to Bank. She loved the match. Lash's Money in the Bank with Zoe Stark and all them. They kept getting hit with the ladders, but she hated that thing. And she's like, "Are those real?" And I'm like, "Yeah, girl." So when I go see them, we have to watch it. But they only watch the girls on, and I only watch it when I'm doing their hair. So I've seen it, but I'll watch it again with them because it might be something I'm missing because I'm tweeting, or it might be it's just something we do. So they asked me when I went over there to watch on SmackDown. They was like, "You coming back tomorrow?" I said, "You can watch tomorrow." They said, "We only watch it with you." So I was like, "Next time I come over, we can watch it." So yeah. So like, I can't wait for them to see this. I will feel. This is what I will say. Charlotte came out with the outfit, and I said, okay, because I thought she was pulling the Cody Rhodes. Remember when Cody came out with that jacket on? We was like, Cody, you got that ish on. What was that? Saturday Night Main Event? She came out, and I was like, because I was like, oh, my niece can't wait to see the robe. I can't wait to show her what the robe is like. She came out with the outfit, and I said, okay, Charlotte, changing it up. And then she came out with the airbrush stuff. And I said, look, I don't know who did her gear, but y'all did that. And then when Cole had said something about a girl named Savannah who's fighting cancer, like design the gear, I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. You know what I'm saying? So then when she came out, oh, okay. So my prediction was that Team Rhea and Io was going to lose to Team Lash and Nia, only because lately, in the past 3-4 years, I've been rewatching. Anyone who wins the advantage match loses WarGames. Okay? So the last few years, like Team Bianca, Team Rhea, Team Io, because Io's been in all of them, has lost the advantage match, but they win. Now it's like, it also gives the person that loses the advantage match kind of a better, situation, because I'm like, if you know you lose an advantage match, so you starting off with you and the other opponent, and then after a while it's gonna be you versus 2 people for 3 minutes. I'm sending in, if I got 5 people, I'm sending in my strongest person first. My top 2 strongest people is gonna be first and last. The people that's not as strong, they like average strong, they going in the middle. The first or second strongest person is going first, because they need to hold it down by themselves with 2 people. And then the person that's closing out got to be super strong too. Okay? So when she came out first, I was like, that would be cute. But then I said, why are we coming out first and we won the advantage match? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't remember that happening. I remember whoever loses the advantage match comes out first. Or maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I got it mixed up. Because I was like, I don't recall. Because or maybe they did come out first. Maybe now I gotta sit there and watch my WarGames. It's 24 and 23. Honestly, I still feel like since 2022 with the Bloodline story, it went downhill. 23 was lit. I ain't gonna hold you. 23 was lit. 24 was It was okay. 25 is like the same or a little less than last year. It gets, and it's not just for the boys. It's for the girls and the boys. And it's not just because Bianca wasn't there. It's just not it. And I'm like, and then Asuka came out. No. I think Asuka came out first. I think. Let me check my thing. Because I think that's when I said we won the advantage match. Shouldn't Charlotte have came out first? That's what I was like. Yeah, I don't remember who came out. I think I think Asuka came out first only because I don't know. One of them came out first, but I remember I think it was Asuka because when they played Charlotte's music, she was dancing. They showed her dancing to Charlotte's music, and I was like, she is the female Sami Zayn. Like Asuka would dance to anybody. You feel? And I'll be here for it, okay? Um, she did that, and then they did it for 5 minutes, and I was like, 5 minutes. I was like, I don't remember the first round being that long. I thought that all the rounds was 3 minutes, but I was like, and then again, I'm mixing up my PLEs. Who knows? So then after that, who helped? Who helped Charlotte? It was Charlotte, Rhea, Alexa, Io came out. That's right. Because some people wanted Kairi and Io to start because they have history together. And Io came out, and y'all know that's one of my songs. So I was getting my life, right? And I was like, okay, her gear is cute. Everybody had some form of same color gear. So then after that, I want to say it wasn't. Becky came out because I remember the ponytail and the look, and I said, Troy. Troy, I said, okay, Troy. I said, it's kind of similar to the gear she had before, but I was like, it's different, but I was like, it's cute. I don't know what it is about that snatchback ponytail Becky been having, but I'm like, that ponytail was giving me life, okay? I like her in a ponytail, okay? So then, oh, and Io came out with the top of the trash can. That's another thing, because she was like, I'm bringing my friend, this is the third year. And then it said Io Sky on it. And I was like, then she came out and I was like, where's the rest of the trash can? So then Alexa came out and I was like, that kind of feels unauthentic. Now, that's another reason why I said that, because I was like, the first year, 2023, I was like, she probably thought of that on the fly and it went viral. You know what I'm saying? Now people try to keep a gimmick going. But I was like, sometimes you got to know when it's run its course. So the second year she tried to do it, and then Tiffany did it without it, because that's when she was like, I can do that too. And Tiffany climbed on the other side and flipped off, and I said, okay. I said, y'all better than me, because ain't no way in hell. No, okay. So then also, so then after that, I think Kairi came out. Kairi was the best dressed person, or one of. Kairi Sane has never had a bad look. I think she's gorgeous. Her gear was cute, and it wasn't nothing too revealing. Like, she gets it. I don't know who she has to make her stuff, but she be on it, okay? And then I think Bliss came out. He had a tag team. What had me cracking up is Becky was screaming in Charlotte's ear up against the cage. And Charlotte, you could tell she was trying so hard to hold back her laughter, but because the camera was right there in her face, she couldn't do that. And then I was watching this reel yesterday, how they was talking about how people botched, like the botched spots of WarGames, like how Io slipped off the rope, and then she so athletic, she like did a roll, tumble roll, and how they showed Charlotte stepping on Becky's foot with one camera angle, and then they had to change it because they showed her foot wasn't even on the foot, it wasn't even on her face. And I said, well, that's like John Cena. I said, when he did the 5-knuckle shovel, when they had their match, I said, when they showed them face forward, and I said, when he did like this, he hit the mat right next to him. I said, it's a huge space. I said, now us watching, even if you sit from either angle in the front row, you can't really see it. But if they would have had the camera at a different angle, it would have looked like he hit him with that. I was like, what's the name, sold it, but I'm like, he wasn't even nowhere close to him. Okay, the only person that I know, and I said, this is how you know you're a pro, you've been doing something for a long time. One of the people I know that hit a spot so close I had to rewind and see if they actually got hit was when Naomi kicked the daggone announcement table in at Evolution against Jade. And I thought the first time I watched the match, I thought she hit her, and then they showed the replay and they show her feet going in between. I said, see, that's what you call professional. I said, because had they not replayed that back, I thought that girl got hit in the face. Like, you know how meticulous you got to be to do that, okay? And not mess up, not be clumsy, because you only got one spot. And say you missed the spot, she getting hit in her face. Like, so they was talking about that. They was talking about how Bron landed on his neck, and I seriously thought he had a concussion. The way he landed, if he didn't, that's the grace of God. Because the way he landed, I was like, there's no way. Okay. Lash came out looking gorgeous, was the last one. They always say she's WNBA all-star, whatever. Nia had the AKA colors on. Nia can do no wrong with her look either. And Rhea came out with the rest of the trash can. I said, okay, Rhea, who else was on that other team? Oh, I think I said everyone. Came out the rest. She had one of her masks on. The self-conscious in her, the Demi in her. She says she sings her song going out because she's nervous. But yeah. And then one point in time, EO was moving so fast. I think Kairi was in the trash can. She was moving so fast in between the ropes before she kicked the trash can. I said, girl, she could have. I said, you really ain't need the trash can this year. I said, to be honest with you, I said, had someone would have held her like this, Kairi, and EO would have did it like this, and then they would have let go, she could have speared her, and it'd been just as good. And Charlotte is 2 for 2 this year. She saved. What the hell did she save? Rhea. I think it was Rhea she saved from getting misted. Because you know, Asuka had the mist and ended up misting Lash on accident in her face. And yep, Lash in his face. And I was like, man, yo. And I was like, that's crazy. And oh, they was also talking about how they botched, like when they had military pressed what's her name over and they almost dropped her. So now it was like 1, 2, 3. But this is the thing, and I'm gonna say this, and I like Jade. I've been following Jade. Shout out to Naomi or Trinity or however you know her. Because of her, and I follow her because when my son got into it, we watched all the up down videos. Like I said, I watched Total Divas, Mr. and Ms, Bella Twins, all that. And now I follow her on Instagram because like her and Lash had like rapport on Instagram, and her and Jade had rapport on Instagram. I discovered who Lash and Jade were through Trinity. Like, I didn't know Jade was in AEW until because when she said something about her body, she said, know your body. And she was like, something like that. And I said, who is this? Me being nosy. And I said, oh my God, I was like, she's gorgeous, her body. And then it was like, she's AEW. And that's how I ended up, because I was watching Jade's matches, forgetting. Because people was like, she has less than 5-minute matches. They Goldberging her. She's a female Goldberg. So, that's how I found out Lash too, because Lash had said something about Naomi and the droplets in her makeup, and she was like, you know what, Lash had the like colorful lashes, you know, Lash. And when Lash came out there looking great with the robe and the, you know what I'm saying, congratulations to her and Trick. And she then came out, and then she was like, I said, no shade. I said, Lash is who y'all want Jade to be. And I mean that in the most respectful way possible. I said had, I wrote it down too, so I wouldn't forget. Hold on. Because I wrote it down. And I was like, I'm not trying to be shady. Yeah, I said, don't shoot me. But Lash is who people want Jade to be. And she could have been had she went to NXT first. Had she went to NXT first, got better with her promos, they would have found out what worked for her and what don't work for her as far as a solo act, tag team match, working with other women, this, that, and third. When she would have came up, she would have been that girl for real. Like she's better a heel than a face. We know that. But she would have been that girl. You know what I'm saying? Like Ricky was trying to figure out why he went to NXT instead of the main roster. And I was like, that's obvious. Ethan didn't really say nothing from any interview that I know of, but he's doing great down there. But I'm like, because people, when she had got injured, I was like, well, they sent her back down to the Performance Center. I didn't know she was injured. And I was like, I love her down, but I was like, she needs to go to NXT. He was like, she can't go to NXT. She's already the main roster. And I was like, she can go back to NXT. Rich Holland done did it. They done sent Lyra down there. Hell, Rhea is one of the biggest stars. Been one of the biggest stars in the past 3 years. And she's been at NXT almost every week. Her and Chelsea. For like, they had like a month or 2 month stint down there. So she was working Mondays and Tuesdays with the Judgment Day down there. Don't think you above, cause you know what I'm saying? Cause you main roster. Don't get big headed like that now. I was like, and I don't think she is, but I'm like, the way y'all making it seem like she might be, like, don't put that on her. But she would have been, okay? So I was wrong. Team Rio, is that what we say? Rhea and Io. They ended up winning. And then the men's match, it's so much to divulge. Like, I'm gonna have to take a break and come back because, like, the first part is a lot, and that's just the two girls matches. The men's match was cool. First of all, they started out with Punk, which I was like, okay, they lost. So he's coming out. Yeah, that's what it is. He came out first, and I was like, I understand you the champion, but I was like, y'all lost the match, so you should have came out second. So, because it should have been Braun Breaker, Punk, and then whoever come out after Braun. It should go like that. So with the Charlotte thing, it didn't. That's what it confused me. With the Punk thing, he had him come out first, and then Braun came out, and they start. And I said, when they said, look at your rest, they had the DBA, I think. And I said, y'all should have played it for his whole song until y'all cut it off. I know y'all don't want the DBA to go over Cena's, but I'm like, Cena's low-key don't go over Jay's or LA Knight's. We're going to keep it a buck. Because I'm like, 110 is what they hit in London. I think at Money in the Bank. But I'm like, when Randy comes out, Cody comes out, CM Punk comes out, LA Knight comes out, Rhea comes out, or Jay comes out, it goes above 110. Yep. So, go upstairs, silly. So, why are you right there? And say, I was in the sound ministry. I can hear real well, and I can't see. I can hear and smell real well, sadly. LJ? He's a trip. Sorry. So they did that, and I was like, low key, Bron got a little fan base too, because he got dogs barking everywhere he go. So then after that, who came after him? Um, Logan came out. Logan came out. And my thing was, I know all the wrestlers go through this that have kids. My brain automatically went, how does it feel now that he's 30? Because all the wrestlers in there, I think except for Bronson, in it, are 30 or 30 plus. So how does it feel now that you're 30, married, have a toddler, and running businesses and a full-time WWE? Like, most people that have full-time WWE people don't have businesses on the side. Like, do you get sleep? That was my thing. Then when Cody got beat up by Drew, I'm like, you stay taking the hit. I was like, for the team, every time you in something, number one. Number two, you got a brand new baby, okay? I was like, you ain't getting no sleep as is, and you getting beat up. Like, Then when Jimmy came out and was getting beat up, I'm like, and then that man got a baby all the way. He can't be beat up and then go home to his wife and he gotta, you know what I'm saying, spit out her while she pregnant. Like, that was exactly my thought when they all came out. So Logan came out. And I was like, he tall as hell. He taller than what people think. And I was like, he looks phenomenal. Like I was telling my homeboy, I was like, had you told, just like Cole said most celebrities come and they want to try it, they try out for a little bit, they go about their way. He was like, he's really honed in on it. And I was like, had I've never watched wrestling before growing up and catch it like periodically in college and after college, and y'all would have told me that Logan's been wrestling for 10 years, I'd have believed that. 1,000%. 1,000%. Okay? Because he's one of the few that can grasp it like that. He's a quick study. They say he asks questions in the background. And I was like, he looks the par. Okay? And he's not one of these people that, oh, I'm a celebrity or this is my name. Y'all need to give me this. Okay, I'm saying? Like, this is what he does. You know? And because, you know, some celebrities come in, they come in because they know they're going to win the match. Or they're going to get a title. Or this, that, and the third. Like Jelly Roll has said on Cody's podcast. He said, I told them that I wanted to lose. He said, that gives me an open window to come back. And I said, okay. So then after that, so I was like, who gonna help Punk? I said, I bet you it be Jay. Guess who came out? Jay. First of all, Jay got my colors on, okay? Very much giving she go. The gear was giving she go. Then when he had on what he had on Monday, was it Monday or Friday? Monday? No, it was Monday, because I just realized he got knee pads on. And I said, oh, because he wore shorts. And I was like, when the last time he wore shorts? But lime neon green is my color. Okay? It's been my color since I was 10. Shout out to Scary Spice. And then black is my second favorite color. So like he wearing that and I was like, not you out here looking like she go. And ironically, I was going to dress like that for Halloween and GalaxyCon, but I had to work the Comic-Con here. And Halloween, I couldn't trick or treat my son. I had a knee injury, so he went with friends. But I was like, not that. So it was funny to me because it's him and Logan. I think Bron and Logan versus Punk and Jay. Was Jimmy out at the time? And then in the middle of him knocking everybody down, this man gonna climb on the top of the cage, right? And start and do this. First do this. And climb on the top of the cage. No, he was fourth. Because I think Jay came out first. I think Jimmy came out first. And then I want to say Cody. I have it written down and I don't remember because I'm trying to go off memory like I used to. Um, yeah, it was Cody because I said, "Where's the DBA for Cody and his music?" God dang it! And I also had. I said I went with Team Roman, but I literally said my gut is telling me that Team Vision is going to win this match. And then I kept saying people keep teasing that Jay is going to turn heel. And I said, if anything, I feel like if this was a time for someone to go heel, I said, I feel like Jimmy will be the one to go heel. I said, I don't think it's Jay. And then someone was like, my homeboy was like, that does the podcast. He said, you know what? He said, Jimmy is better on the mic. He said, I'm trying to figure out why he's not a bigger star. He said, but if you think about it, he said, the younger brother's always bigger star. He said, Scott Steiner was bigger, even though the other Steiner was bigger. Eric was better. He said, Jeff was bigger, even though Matt might have been just as big. And it was like, they didn't start recognizing him until he did TNA and stuff by himself, that he had some character in WWE they didn't really do nothing with. And it was like Jimmy and Jay. And I said, yeah. And I said, when they come together, Jay is more confident with his promos. Like when they was trying to do the advantage match with the tag team, that was a good promo from Jay. And I was like, I haven't heard a good one like that from him in a while. And we know Jimmy got the mic skills or whatever. But I was like, me personally, I was like, and I'm not hating. It's like, I don't know what it is now, but I was like, last year, Jimmy was better on the mic and Jay was better in the ring. This year, I haven't really been watching consistently. It's been sporadic. Okay. So, I don't know. I just know when SmackDown come in March, I'm probably going to be going. I was going to go to Saturday Night Main Event in DC. It's too expensive back home. I was here at Raw when they came to Raleigh here. My son wanted to go to the gate to see Jayden, but he had migraine, kept throwing up, so he couldn't go. But yeah. So they all come out, do their thing, and I told my son, I said, you know why I think Team Vision gonna win? And I said, they're on, even though they don't like each other, some of them, they're on one accord. And I said, Roman, Cody, and Punk alone don't halfway get along. And I was like, and Roman and Cody always end up in this situation. And when they did the promo, what was it, Friday or Monday, when he was like, I'm coming for that title. And what's his name say, which one? He said, you figure it out. So then when the twins had said whatever, and Roman looked and said, y'all need to fix this. This your team. I was like, not him talking about this your team. So if they was together, right? They was all on one chord. Would they be your team? And then I couldn't help but think. I said, now this man said he wasn't coming back till Christmas. He didn't want to see the girl Christmas. And so I was like, he must be out of PTO. And I said, I don't think that's what the situation is. I honestly think Roman wasn't coming back at all. This is me personally. I think it was going to be Jacob. I think it would have been Punk. Because the only person from SmackDown that was on their team was Cody, right? And I said, I think it would have been Punk, Cody, Usos, and Jacob. And the reason why I say that is because Jay and Punk has had issues with the Vision. So that checks out them two, right? Then you would have had Drew with the whole Jacob situation. Because they had to switch Drew having beef with Cody again because Jacob is out. Right? Then you would have had 1, 2, 3. Jimmy would have been there for the Vision because you included Logan. So it would have been them three. It would have been Punk and the Usos, and it would have been the Vision. Them three. 3 on 3. Then you would have had Jacob and Drew. And then we would have brought back Brock and Cody. Roman really didn't need, if Jacob was healthy, it wasn't no need for him to be there. But because Jacob is not there, you know what I'm saying, we got Roman, which I ain't mad at, but I feel like the situation would have went a whole different way. And not just because of the Drew and Jacob thing, because if we would have finally probably got a taste of Jacob and Brock. Man, let me tell you something. Okay? Somebody said Brock versus Jacob will feed families. You hear me? You hear me? I'm still waiting on, because we had Jonah versus Jacob in the Indies. Bring that back to WWE. Let us get Bronson versus Jacob for WWE. Now, I done said before that we needed Bron versus Bron, which we got. We got Bron versus Bronson, and then we needed Bron versus Bron, but they got rid of Strowman. Put Jacob in that 4-way. Nah, the ring might collapse. The ring might collapse. And then my homie was like, well, he feel like Logan could turn on them if they lose, and it'll set them up for him versus Brock, or for a title situation with Punk. But I was like, I think he already wrestled Punk. I don't know. But I don't know. I feel like that's how WarGames was supposed to go, and we just didn't get that. But them walking out, and then Punk accidentally getting hit by Cody, I think, and busted open, and then Cody got busted open again. And I'm like, then I think Jimmy started. I said, everybody is bleeding. Like, what the hell is happening? Okay, they worse than Dragunov. Okay, and Dragunov is my guy. Okay, but every time he's in a good match, you can tell the match is good when somebody's wrestling Dragunov, is when this man start bleeding. I promise you, from NXT all the way to that match he had against Bron Breakker at Raw, they didn't even have no title. And I was like, that could have been, somebody's like, that could have been a PLE match. I said, okay. You could tell. Okay. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's just. So then they up there doing this, right? Jay acting all crazy. I want to say Josh, because I be saying stuff like I know that, but when I listen to like interviews and watch like Total Divas and watch like, my son wanted to watch like them doing that carpool thing when they had that show, because he was like 8 and very obsessed. And I'm so used to their regular names that my brain has to switch, and I have to think about who I'm talking about when I say the WWE name. Because at first when I said that, I was like, and I was like, nope. My brain was like, no. Okay. But he was doing this, and then as soon as you heard Brock's music, I said, uh-oh. I was like, real quick. Got down. I said, okay. He came in there and suplexed everybody. Everybody? Everybody. Okay? Then he came and F5'd everybody. So then when he got to Jay, I was like, Josh, stay on the ground. Josh, stay on the ground. Stay on the ground. And he turned around. I said, oh, got mine. That's when Jimmy got suplexed. That's when I said, this man got a baby on the way. Why is y'all doing this to him? Why y'all doing this to him? And y'all know, if you ever got someone pregnant or been pregnant before, the men a lot of times have worse symptoms than the person they got pregnant. Okay? Because when I was pregnant with my son, who's now 11, his dad threw up and was sleeping more than me. I was just nauseous, couldn't throw up, pissed I couldn't throw up, but I couldn't really sleep for real. I was hungry as hell though. But his dad would sleep like 14 hours. Like, he would just go to work and that's it. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, I'm the one that's okay. But Yeah. So, also, tangent, how you are while you're pregnant is how your baby gonna be. They feel all that energy. They feel all that energy. If you're uptight and stuff like that while you're pregnant and you wonder why your child grow up to be, they feel that. If you hone everything in and bottle everything up, and then when you get overwhelmed, you bust out crying on all this range of emotion, that's how your child gonna be. Okay? I'm just telling you from experience. I got a lot of nieces and nephews, cousins, and I got a child. But okay, so sorry. He starts duplexing everybody. So then Roman, hold on, before that, Drew, who came out? Well, Cody was coming out. Drew wouldn't let him in. So Cody had to climb the thing. And I said, what the hell is going on? Who else did they do that to? I think one of the girls had to climb the thing because one of the other girls ain't let them in. I'm like, what is Becky? Becky didn't let AJ in. AJ had to climb the thing. And let me tell you something. Becky for her team was the MVP. For Rhea and them team, it was Charlotte. That signature at the end that pinned her was smooth. When she hit her with the was it Charlotte that hit her? Or was it Rhea that hit her with a riptide? And then what's her name got up and did the black widow. When I tell you AJ moved so fast, my eyes was like this. Like, what? And then pinned her, and Becky had to tap out. And I said, and another thing, because I'm remembering stuff as I go. I was like, it's crazy how 2 years ago Becky and Charlotte was on the same team. And I said, this is probably the last time outside of the holiday shows, I'm not counting holiday shows, that they've wrestled in the same ring together in 2 years. Because they're always on different brands. They haven't been on the same brand. Even with one of the 4 horsewomen, like, it's more so now Bailey and Becky. Like Charlotte, I think Bailey was on SmackDown with Charlotte when Bailey was part of Damage Control. But when she went solo, I don't think. Like, I think if Sasha was here, Sasha would be on SmackDown with Charlotte, and then Becky would still be over there with Bailey. I wonder if Becky and Charlotte are still like real good friends, or did that dissipate or whatever. Just curious, not being nosy. Because I'm like, people evolve and grow. And it's not always you not be friends because of fallout. It's just be like, oh, we don't see each other, or the stuff that I used to like to do or do, I don't like to do no more, or vice versa. Whatever. But, so then Brock comes out the ring and steps at the end. And someone was like, oh, he breaking the rules. Like, he found a loophole. First, when he came down, I said, he's so bow-legged. It don't make no sense. And I was like, and then he gets his hair cornrowed before he come out there. So then he comes out and Roman comes out. I said, first of all, it's a jawline. Ever since 2 years ago, like, he's been pretty good shape. But I think his regimen with his cousin, when DJ and him was doing WrestleMania, and he was like, we got a trainer and stuff like that, I think he's upkept it. I don't think it's as strenuous as Rock's, but I think he's upkept it, because I'm like, he looks totally different now versus 3 years ago. And he's always been fit, but it's more like muscle tone now. And he came down, I was like, you look good. Then I had to stop looking, because my mom was like, I can see why he got 5 kids. Okay? When you look at certain people come out of the ring, you be like, I can see why you got kids and you got wife. Okay? Because they, like, the girls in the comments and Twitter and stuff be going off. They be like, so the whole Hawaii Fatu family five, all the men in the family five. And I was like, listen, okay. To me, I wouldn't say all of them. Some of them are cute, but it's not. It's all on. I wouldn't try to get with all of them. And I thought Cody was cute. Somebody said, bring back dark hair Cody. I said, okay, because he was fine, but he married too. Can't. Okay. So, side note. So, Jimmy is, yeah, and his personality, but I like Trinity. I love Trinity. I love them two together. And then John and Trent are cute. Josh is fine too, but I like when he had like the long hair and all this was shaved. I was like, okay, like when they did the swap, when Naomi and Jim did the swap, and they like, and he showed his face with all like he went down the ramp with her. I said, okay, he's fine, but also I was like, oh, he got his hair. I was like, his hair is light brown, it's not black, and I was like, and then he colored it like a honey blonde, and I was like, oh, so he been listening to people. Or his stylist or whoever's in the back been listening to people, because I'm like, that platinum was a no. It strips your hair. I was like, honey blonde compared to the light brown he has is better and healthier on his hair. So I'm thankful for that. Okay. Also, so Roman came out and gave the man 3 super punches. They was like, he had 3 Superman punches. He ain't up on the thing. I mean, on the he ain't budge. So when he F5'd him on the announcement table, on the Spanish speaking announcement table, I said, I know his stomach and abs hurt. I know they hurt. Okay? So you can't tell me that. You can't tell me that they hurt. Okay? And I will say that. Because it's Thanksgiving weekend. And if I'm a wife of a WWE superstar, or if I'm working and dating a WWE superstar, and you telling me that you got to go to WarGames, and it's Thanksgiving weekend, we're going to spend Thanksgiving together depending on how deep in our relationship we are. If we're not that deep into it, you be with your family, I'm going to be with mine. You go over there. But if you want me to come to WarGames, I'm coming, because it's my favorite PLE. Okay? So after that, because I know you probably got to stay on that side 9 times out of 10. If not, I don't know where they got to be at on Monday. Fly out there. I'm like, we come back to the room. I'm gonna have an icy hot. the being gay, the heating pad, okay. Cause you all messed up, burnt up, taped up. Then if you try to get a little freaky, like, I gotta do all the work because you done messed yourself up. Like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just a lot. It's a lot dating someone that's like, gets physically bruised or dealing in the entertainment space or something like that. Like, it's a lot. Okay, my son's father is a musician, and he's on the road 9-10 months out the year, and his body be beat up because he's a drummer, so he's constantly moving and hands be. It's a lot, like it's a lot. But or is I was gonna say was because we're not together, but he still is. But yeah, so after that, he helped Punk up. And then he helped Cody look like he didn't want to get helped up. He looked like he had an attitude. Oh, before that. So before all of that, like, it seemed like, team, what is it? Punk and Cody? Cody and Punk. Okay. Had the upper hand, and then somebody came out, did something, and then did a stomp. So people was like, that's Seth? Oh, that can't be Seth. They was like, it's they said, what's the name Paul always got something up his sleeve. But they was like, that can't be stuff just had surgery. And I said, mind you, from what I heard, surgery's on his rotator cuff. Okay. My mama done had surgery there. She had a cast. Even if he's not wearing a cast and he just got his arm like this, you could still use your legs. So it could very much be Punk. But I mean, Seth, but this is my thing. If Seth got turned on from the Vision, it's no way in hell he's helping out Heyman and the Vision. That was my thought. Okay. My thought was, this has to be. And then I looked at the person wearing the jacket. And I said, is it me or is a person up here a bigger build than Punk? Like it could, I keep saying Punk, than Seth. It could very much be given another Samoan Tongan, or it could be giving us, I said, what if that's Triple H in all black? And we spent months trying to figure out who the mystery person is. Because I'm like, Triple H is real wide at the top. He's still in good shape. He just getting older, didn't want to wrestle, one. And two, had that heart situation. We don't know, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. They know, but we don't know. I was like, because if I create a group, like how Edge did Judgment Day, it could be Edge. Or it could be Ambrose. No, his contract ain't up, is it? But if I create a group and y'all betray me like how they Judgment Day did Edge, or how Vision did Seth, I'm not the hell with everybody. Like, you can't call me and ask me to spit on you if you was on fire. Like, don't come over here. You know what I'm saying? So that's not him in my thought process. Not him. I don't know who it is. Punk. No, Roman tried to help Punk. Y'all know what I'm saying. Roman tried to help Cody up. Cody had a whole attitude, I guess because they lost. And you know what gave it away that they was losing? If you wasn't sure, it's Cole saying, everyone in this WarGames on this team has never lost a WarGames. I said, oh, well, that's the clue right there. They losing. I said, because why would you? I said, I know you trying to build facts and stuff like that. I said, but I wouldn't have said that. I would have said it after they lost. I would have said, oh my God, I can't believe that they lost this. I was like, this is the first time that everyone over here has lost the WarGames. That's what I would have said. Gave it away. Okay. Then we get the little segment with Alpha Babes. We need to stop calling them Alpha Academy because it sure say Alpha Babes. Alpha Babes and Lord, that's not their name. The New Day. Because I was gonna call them up down. Basically doing an up down segment. If you know, you know. Because they was talking about how he was down in the rankings and stuff, and then it was like he was he was talking about the game on the phone. And I said, we put some up down into this. Which I miss those. I know him and Breeze do their Tuesday Night Live thing, and I know they do like WWE stuff and other games, but I miss when we could see him and the other people doing Tekken and stuff like that. And it ain't even necessarily gotta be Tekken. Like, y'all could battle out on Madden, y'all could do NBA 2K, y'all could do COD, y'all could do Fortnite, y'all could do Among Us. Like, y'all could do Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, something. Like, bring back the old content, because you know what? AEW got Mansoor and what you comment down there, and I know they probably called Woods and was like, hey, we want to start this channel, like do this on this channel, is it okay, how you feel, whatever. But they doing what y'all used to do. They doing the camaraderie and enjoying themselves on the game. And I know WWE is trying to be PG, but F that. Okay, it's grown. I would have put at the beginning of Down Down, what you hear is not based on the views of WWE or its affiliates, is by everybody's personal views or whatever, and let everybody cuss like a sailor. Be you on the game, okay? Because y'all know y'all be cussing like hell on the game. My son, I let him say nigga in hell, and he 11. He be going off. He's like, shut the hell up. I let him say it because them other kids be cussing. They be full out cussing. And them the two words I say all the time. I'll call somebody N-word quick, and I be like, the hell is that? I'll say them two real quick. I try to restrain from cussing ever since I had him. So if I get real mad, I'll say something, but he don't hear me. But bring that back. So I'm like, okay, New Day would say, and Woods, you need to stop with these hoochie daddy videos, okay? Y'all, you got people in your reels looking at you jump rope in gray shorts. You knew what you was doing. You is married. Okay? You can't be doing that. Okay? Whole married with kids. Okay? Don't do that no more. Don't do that no more. Put some jeans on or something. Or wear a cup or something. Because I really wasn't paying no attention. At that part, I was looking at your chest. And then I was looking at how you were able to keep your breath by jumping rope and talk at the same time. And I was in amazement because I was like, now I work out and I speed walk and run every day. And I could jump rope for 10 minutes. And I could dance for 3 hours straight. But as soon as I jump rope for 10 minutes, I feel like I'm about to die. And then try to jump rope and talk, nigga? Like, no. This man did a whole promo and was steady. Like, he didn't slow down jump rope and was steady jump rope. And I'm like, how the hell is he like, I was amazed at that. But then when I read the comments, I had to go back and look, and I said, yeah, you showing a lot. Showing a lot. But so then the last match was my favorite. They did Cena. Of course, they had the DBA up for him. It was 104, then on to 110. He bumped into Stu, who is hilarious on Logan's thing. When that shows up my algorithm on YouTube, I always watch it. I only watch Logan's channel is when he puts up where they at, like the day of that he's at WWE on Monday. So like he'll put up like last Monday's thing, and he's always trash talking with Stu. Like, that is one of my they are funny, okay? That is one of my favorite things. I'm behind on YouTube because I've been watching a lot of Reacting Bullseye and superhero stuff and old school music stuff. Like, I gotta catch up on Club 520, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, and some nightcap stuff. And I gotta, what do you want to talk about? I want to see the one with Natty. Because I've seen all the ones I wanted to see with Stephanie's one. I don't care to see 6 Feet Under, no shade. Homeboy's not on there with Undertaker no more. And Impulsive only came up because Impulsive and Rikishi's only came up because my algorithm was like wrestling podcasts and it came up, but I'm not subscribed to none of these podcasts. They just pop up. Except for 7 p.m. in Brooklyn and Club 520. I am with those. But and it's basketball season. So you know. Big basketball girl. But because NFL is stressing me out. In another tangent, how the hell are the Bears #1 in their division? Like, I'm sorry. I know the Fanatics does all the stuff with the sports, but what the hell did it take for Montez to be out and Seth to be out, both of them being Bears fans, and they can't be in WWE right now, for the Bears to be like, to feel that energy and be like, all right, we're going to win for them. Because I'm confused as hell. Like, I'm so confused. And then the Panthers want to be decent this season. Like, what is happening? Okay, my Ravens don't know what the hell they doing. Okay, my dream Super Bowl is my favorite team versus my old favorite team, and that's because I used to be a huge Brett Favre fan, which is the Packers. And I don't even know if we're gonna make the wild card either side. But I digress, because I could go in a whole. I can't even watch the games because I'll be stressed out. Y'all see, I got these great. I went from 2. Look at that. I got a whole like 5 of them right there. Like, I can't. Over the past 2-3 years, I know that come with age, because I'm almost, in my 40s. But I'm like, God dang. Sports do not help at all. At all. Okay. Anyways, so he comes out, he bumps in the stew. He like, hey, yo, you all right? All right, cool. Let's go do this one last time. So then Dom comes out. The crowd goes crazy. Because I'm trying to figure out what the hell thing he has on. If they keep letting Dom go run AAA like he does, and I love the fact that they're actually letting people that hold the titles from AAA, except for Chelsea and Ethan, are people of Latin descent or that can fluently speak Spanish. Like, I know Finn, I think, married a Latina. I don't know if he's fluent, but if he ever becomes fluent, let that man go down there and cut promos and do that. Y'all already got El Grande Americano, I think, down there, which Ludwig is doing a fantastic job of being. He's doing what Chad couldn't do with it. Okay, I will say that. Like, Chad was funny with it, but Ludwig is top tier with it. And then I forget how tall he is. Okay, so Dom comes out. They at the Padres thing. They from where he live at. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember if that's the Bay or not. Is that below LA where Dom is from? Right? I think that's below, because the Bay is above. Right? I feel like if I was to live on the West, I'm like in the outside of LA because of the gentrification and stuff. Like Van Nuys, Altadena, Pasadena, stuff like that. But if I were to live, and my cousin just moved from here like 5 years ago, in California, I would live in the Bay. I don't know what it is. One of LJ's mentors she's from the Bay. She goes there every summer. But the Bay reminds me of people from the DMV. Y'all know what DMV is? DC, Virginia, Maryland. I don't know if it's across the way like this, but those are West Coast twin flames, if I could say that. I've never met someone that's from the Bay that I don't like. Okay? The culture is about the same, minus the way that we talk, our slang and our words. Like, very much mixed culture, very much get all 4 seasons. Very much like, I love the Bay down. I've never been, but I could tell by the fact that I love the people there that would be my place. If I was to go to the West Coast, that's where I would move to. I'm not moving to LA. Too many fires. They had that mudslide a couple years ago. They just had that one fire. Earthquakes they could have. Hurricanes that, like, I'm not, put me up to the top. Or if I live up there, I'm going to Seattle. I'm going to Vancouver. Like, I'm not. I didn't think about Portland. No, I'm not going to Oregon. Didn't mean the only 3 places I go on the West Coast. I might go to LA if I'm on the outside. But other than that, hell no. Keep me on the East Coast, please. Okay? I thought about Texas. Now I'm older. I'm like, I thought about Atlanta for a while. A lot of my friends I went to college with lived there. Moved from North Carolina to Atlanta. If not, they're back home. I'm from DC. They're transplants, so they're not from there, but they live there. But yeah. So he come out, the people cheer, whatever. He said he thought they were gonna turn on him, all the things because they cheered Cena. Um he came out with my girl, Roxanne and Raquel. I call Liv and Raquel crazy and cool. I forgot what I call Roxanne and Raquel. Is something and cool. Oh, I forgot. Or double R, rest and relaxation. I don't know. But I was like, okay. Cause y'all know Roxanne my girl. EO's my son, but only it's 5 women that I've followed their careers, and that's Bianca, Roxanne, Soul, Jordan, and Liv. Okay. And they came out, and I had this is what I thought initially. I thought Dom was going to retain. And I said, if he loses and Cena retains, whoever Cena faces at main event is who's going to take the title from him. And not only that, okay? Not only that, it would have to be somebody that either is on Raw or switches to Raw. Because you can't have the IC title and be on SmackDown. So I was like, with that being said, it's Gunther and Solo, right? And then on the side, Yeet versus Yeah, Jay versus LA. So I was like, if that's the case, it either have to be Gunther or Jay, because them two are the only ones on Raw. But Dom got the title back. Came out, the match was pretty good. It was going pretty well. And then he fell and hurt himself. But then when they showed the playback on the real I was talking about, showed he pulled a penta but didn't really hurt his shoulder. But I was like, from my camera angle, it looked like it still. And Roxanne picked him up. You know how strong you gotta be to pick up a grown man. Okay? I don't care if the man 100 pounds. Most guys, compared to girls, like a girl and a guy could both be 100 pounds. But the guy is more solid. If that makes sense. Like my son and my niece are about the same height. She's 2 months older than him. And they're about the same weight. But he's solid. Like when I pick her up, it's like I'm picking up a feather. When I pick him up, I'm like, God dang, what am I feeding you? But that's muscle. You know what I'm saying? Compared to women that have fat and all fluff and the things. So I'm like, this is why when she picked him up, I said before Jay got here, this is why I wanted a triple threat with Rhea, Raquel, and Bianca, because all of them, they said can bench press 300 pounds, and I want to see who's the strongest. Okay? And then Roxanne did the pop rocks, her little short self on him. That was a good sell. They sold the hell out of that. You hear me? Then he got up. Before that, it was Finn and JD. JD had cornrows in his. I said, who is cornrolling all these people's hair? Came out, did something. Tried to do a swanton, I think, and missed. Then Finn tried to do a coup de grace. But the way Finn ran down there and then flew in the ring, I said he got in that ring like he was about to go dove in that ring like he was going fishing. I was like, that is smooth. I ain't seen that in a minute. I said, then Dom, wasn't hurt, fake like he was hurt or whatever. And the ref was pissed off, so he didn't even count. But you know what? I will say, and it's going to piss a lot of people off, Dom is this generation's Eddie Guerrero. He is this generation. He's more like his godfather in the ring than he's like his father. I'm talking about because he's the heel. And because I'm like, you already out-healed yourself. You was a heel before with Rhea. Then you out-healed yourself when you turned on Rhea. That's when she became a face and dated Liv. Right? Now you out-healing yourself again because you faking an injury. Not even injured. So then did all of that. Liv comes out, slaps him. I said, my girl. She come out. First, she got the Christina Aguilera, Pamela Anderson makeup on. Okay. And then she jumps on Cena and he picks her up. And I said, what the hell going on here? So then she makes a face like I said, oh, she crazy. And she kicks him. And then he does something. I forgot what the ref was doing, or he fell or something like that. And then she hits him with the thing and he gets pinned and he loses it. That match was everything. And that's just the detail. That's just the minor bit. Y'all can catch up on it. What's tonight? Monday? Yeah. But that match was the best match of the night. Was the best match of the night. Between, if John is there, I want to see what the hell he say about that. And I also want to see what team, I'm going to say Usos, Team Usos, because saying Team Punk Cody is too much. Team Usos got to say about the mystery person and who the hell it is or whatever. Because what is going on? Okay? What is going on? Like, I don't know. Like, it's... And the kids now are so lucky because, first of all, they're lucky in two ways. Because one, if you have Peacock or Netflix or ESPN, whoever y'all watch y'all PLE, with Peacock it's $6.49. You pay $6.49 a month to watch a PLE on WWE. It was $25 when I was little, the pay-per-view. And if you wanted to keep it, you had to tape it. Because we got the one on tape where I think Triple H lifts up Stone Cold in the forklift. We got that one on tape somewhere. I don't know where the hell it's at. But the only time, if you didn't get it, because it's like a soap opera, of course, they went back and did the recap before the show started, so you will know what's going on. You basically know who won. Now, with the new generation now, between TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, you ain't even got to watch the PLE because all the good parts is on Reels and top 10 moments and all that other stuff. The hell we had that. Then if I only want to see Survivor Series and I order ESPN Plus, whatever, what's that, $15? That's less than $25, $30. Like, and the cost of $1 was more than, it wasn't inflation, but it was more than, the minimum wage was less, so $30 was a lot. Okay, like, we had to talk our mom into getting that because it's 4 of us. We had to talk her into it. But because my dad used to work all the time, he was never home. He worked all the time. So my mom was home. We had to beg her. She was like, all right, this it. This it. Y'all not going to Blockbuster this weekend because you going to watch this. We be like, all right. That was the only one. But yes, I wanted to see what they want to say. Who wants to mystery player? We don't even know if Roman gonna be there tonight. We know Punk gonna be there. I don't know if Cody might show up. That man show up on both promos, and he ain't even part of the Raw promo. He'll be there doing the dark match, so he'll just pop out, come out, and be like, "Hey y'all, thank you for enjoying the show." You like, what the hell you doing here? Okay. If you want to see the matches though, low key, if you don't want to get like ESPN and stuff, you have to watch it the next day because you know people like Matt Kemp records matches. He sits in the back though, but he's got a lot of followers that like that. He'll record matches and then he'll record the stuff that happens after the show that we don't get to see like on Friday and stuff like that, and Monday when they were still fighting, like in Madison Square Garden, they cut the TV off. Everybody was talking about how they cut off Netflix or whatever. So, yeah, you have to see that. You can see it for free, for real. Like, that it's crazy with media and stuff today, and for them to still get all this revenue and people to support them and stuff like that, and people can see it free on different platforms is amazing. But I hope you all, enjoyed my review. Sorry it took so long. Sorry I'm rusty with this. I have not done one of these in 6 months. So y'all give me some grace, okay? I love you all. I will talk to you soon. Bye.